Welcome to Live Well with Banter, a new podcast produced by Hayward and Stuff Productions for Live Well with Cancer. I'm your host, Ben Elliott, or the regulars of the Live Well Hub, Maureen's son. I'm here today with Beth Vanchetti. Would you like to introduce yourself, Beth?
Hello, my name is Beth Vanchetti and I am one of the instructors who does movement classes for Live Well with Cancer. I also am the Cancer Prehab Lead from Northumbria Trust, and we work very closely with Live Well with Cancer in that service as well.
Lovely. And senior physiotherapist, I believe, as well. The list of titles go on and on.
I'm not gonna big things up, but also it does say it's senior specialist physiotherapist on the badge. So just add another title there. But yes, I work as a physio in the service as well.
Brilliant. Really good answer, good introduction. So today we're going to be talking about a lot of things. There's going to be some banter. We're going to talk about cancer. We're going to do all sorts. We're going to start off talking about Live Well with Healthy Habits. Now, this is actually a project we've worked on together, the Prehab edition.
Yes.
An upcoming version of the Live Well with Healthy Habits journals. So we're going to start off with 9 questions, and these are around those sort of healthy habits. So we'll start off talking on the first 3, which is about your journey in life, and that's how you move from the past through the present and into the future. Yeah. Starting off, what's one intention you have for the future?
I think one intention for the future that I've actually recently decided upon is when I've just come back from being on a holiday in Germany and Austria and driving around, being around just beautiful scenery. And a few of the evenings we just sort of me and my husband sat beside the lake and just sort of like lake we were parked beside and like looked out and just like sat basically in silence for like 5-10 minutes and just soaked it in. And I thought to myself then, I was like, when I'm back at home at work, there is never one moment a day where I would sit and take any time for myself whatsoever. So I was like, I thought my intention now is to not necessarily, I would probably call it mindfulness, but just take 5-10 minutes. Doesn't have to be every day, but it could just be a few times a week, just to actually just take time to myself to think, right, just switch off, let the brain switch off and just relax. If it's in the park, if it's in the garden or wherever, that's my intention.
That's a really good intention. So where were you in Germany and Austria? Were you in like a camper van?
Yeah. Oh, so we basically we flew into Munich and then we sort of drove around. We did stay in some Airbnbs as well, some lovely cute little chalets, and we just drove to we went to sort of the Bavarian Alps and into like the Hallstatt in Austria, and there was a lot of lovely places that we went to. And then we went to Salzburg for a bit and then back to Munich. But
lovely. I went to Hallstatt and it was one of my favourite holidays.
Yeah,
so
it was my favourite place. Like I've always wanted to go, and I was like, will it be as magical as it is in the pictures? And I saw it and I was like, yes, it is.
Unbelievable place. Yeah. One of my favourite days ever. Where we're in Hallstatt and me and my girlfriend got a ferry across and then we walked around the river back to Hallstatt, and it was as simple as just wandering around. I mean, I say it's simple, it's one of the most beautiful places in the world. Because what kind of things do you like to do that kind of make you present in the moment?
I think definitely nature is something that makes me feel present and just makes me just, as I said, take that time for myself or just switch off from the busyness or from thinking about work or thinking about what I've got to do, just being in nature. And yeah, me and my husband love like hiking especially, and I think we're very much people who like to go maybe more off the beaten track and find a walk or a hike where there's not loads of people there, it's a bit more quiet or secluded, and weather doesn't tend to affect our walks as well, like even if it's raining or whatever. I think I always say being out in nature in whatever weather is better than being in the office when it's sunny. So.
Oh, 100%. And then last one on your journey. So this is about the past. What's one bad habit you should let go?
No one ever likes to admitting the bad habits. But I think one thing that I've known for a long time, I still haven't let it go, but here's hoping I might in the future, is I'm definitely a yes person. I want to say yes to everything. I want to be involved in everything. If there's a good project at work or if friends are doing something, even if it's on like the same day and it's just slightly different, I'll try and get to all things. And I think sometimes that makes me sort of half commit to things and not fully put all my energies into things because I'm trying to split my time and effort between so many things. And I think for me as well, it sort of does, feel a lot of times when I do feel like a little bit burnt out from trying to do so much that, as I said, I can't put my whole energies in because I'm trying to spin about 50 plates, but I would like to be able to maybe not say no, but just try and work out what I can achievably do and put, like I said, give it 100% rather than giving lots of things.
Yeah, I see what you mean.
A little bit less. Because I think there's sometimes when as I said, you sort of feel like, could I have done that better? Probably, if I hadn't have had the 10 other things to do at the same time that I'd said I could do. Or just, I said, being a bit more honest. I said, I can try and do this, but, so you're not saying, oh yeah, I'll do all this, and then being like, probably wasn't the best, or I was really tired. Like if it's like even meeting your friends, going to meet your friends, but you've already met another friend, or you're going to meet another friend later, or you're doing this, and then you see them and you just feel like you sit there like,
yeah, but there's more sense.
Yeah. I want to try and listen to myself a little bit more and understand what I can do, how many things I can do at once, and maybe how many things I should do rather than what I want to do, maybe.
Yeah, exactly. Because if you're just basing each individual decision might be like, well, yes, I would do that, and yes, I would do that. But when you're 12 yeses in, and you've only got enough time to do 6 of them, that's where you end up overset. So is that a personal and a professional thing? It goes both ways.
Yeah, it's just throughout life. I want to be doing everything, and sometimes, well, that's probably not possible. I try and make it possible, but I think it doesn't always work out.
Yeah. You got to be honest with yourself as well for these things, and it's not, sometimes you react before you've even thought things through. And it's like, on a face value, yes, I will do that.
Yeah, exactly. And sometimes you don't think of your future self; you think of yourself, and you're like, oh, yeah, I want to do that. And then it comes to the day, and you're like, oh my goodness, I've got like back-to-back plans all day, and I'm not getting home till like this time, and the next day I've got this on. So yeah, I think maybe a bit more pre-planning and a bit more maybe being kinder to future Beth.
That's a brilliant answer.
Yeah.
And that's the way I like to think about the journey part of things. I like to think of myself as past me, present me, and future me.
Yeah.
And ultimately, it's all for future me.
Yeah.
And present me, because I'm experiencing it.
Yeah.
But if I can make good decisions now that are going to benefit my future, well, then I'm going to pay the dividends down the line. So it sounds like you're in a similar place. That's really cool. Good answer. What are you currently learning about?
Currently learning about, to be fair, I was trying to think of a lot of different things, but I think one thing that I'm enjoying at the moment is through the sort of our group of Prehab leads in the Northern Cancer Alliance, we've sort of split ourselves into different groups, and we're looking at different resources for sort of the various areas that we cover in Prehab, which I'll probably talk a bit more about, which is sort of mental well-being, nutrition and physical activity. And instead of going for my normal physical activity side, I'm sort of supporting on the more mental well-being side. And I talk about mental well-being sort of with patients and things, and I do sort of, I would say I knew a little bit about that sort of looking after your mental well-being, but I think looking in more depth at resources out there has definitely really opened my eyes as to all the benefits and all the sort of varieties, and not just my sort of standard ones that I would be like, oh, well, you can do some box breathing, or you can do this. There's so many different things out there that you can do, and sort of learning a little bit more about it, different things like that has been really interesting.
Well, and they're so interrelated, aren't they? Because you talk about physical. One of the best things you can do for your mental health is move your body.
Yeah.
And do your physical activity, and then it's like, right, well, okay, all of these things are good. In terms of like learning about that, then is that just a case of what's kind of through the NHS, or is it more of a kind of personal journey?
It's more sort of looking at sort of different options, and I think that's so. It's some of the NHS things, but it's also I've been looking at. So I've looked at even things like the Calm app. I've looked in a little bit more into different apps and how the apps work, and then looking a bit of like cognitive behavioural therapy, and like looking at sort of like books, and just looking at how books explain what these things are, because I said I know the words and like, but I wouldn't really know what they are. So I think looking at the sort of more, as for me, I am a layman in terms of sort of mental well-being, so I is looking at it from a patient side, where I'm actually learning, like I'm like one of the patients who would be getting these resources. So it has been quite good to look at sort of the wide range, if that's like, yes, a digital NHS, but also like a lot of there's some books. I think there's a one that I've looked at, which it's called, I think it's called The Happiness. I can't remember the full name of it, but I think it's like The Happiness Guide or The Happiness, and that was a really good book that I'd sort of borrowed. And yeah, I was just reading that and I sort of learned. So yeah, I think it's looking at the different options.
Really good. Yeah, no, really good. Rich material as well, isn't it? When you look at them kind of things, there's so many different ways of approaching it because there's not one answer. There's so many different approaches. Oh, that's really cool. Now, I think you're going to have good answers for this one, given your line of work. How do you like to move your body best?
You've picked me up for the fall there, no. Just to stay at home on the sofa, no.
Yeah.
I think that's definitely changed over time. Like, I think if you'd asked me a few years ago, I was very much like, I liked netball and like, I liked sort of more competitive sport and like, I mean, I do still play tennis, but that sort of more competitive side. And I was like part of a running group, sort of did more running. Whereas now I feel like I still enjoy those sort of more competitive sports, but I also have found a love for Pilates and yoga and just going out for like, not like I used to go out for a run and I'd be like timing myself. I'd be like, how far have I gone? How fast have I done the split? What about where my heart rate at? Just going out for a run and not having my watch on, or having my watch on but not having it on, or like not having my phone, not putting it on Strava to get all the kudos, like just going out and just plodding and just doing that. So I think now I'm probably getting to the stage where like I like the competitive side, but I just like the side of being like, you can just do whatever you want to. You can go for a plot. You can do a bit of stretching, a bit of yoga. You can do Pilates.
So last one on health, we're going to talk about emotions. So if you could do one thing that you enjoy right now, what would it be?
Right now,
it doesn't have to be right now. I kind of put pressure on
it. I couldn't do the thing that I want to do right now because it was. I'm going back to this holiday because it was just so recent. But we went swimming in one of the lakes.
Oh wow!
And I don't know, but that sort of cold water swimming, I haven't really. I do it occasionally, but actually, that's probably the first time that I've found it enjoyable. Because normally it's like, especially if you go in the North Sea for a dip, you're like, right, come on, you're hyping yourself up. You're like, can I do this? You run in, you're like, great, and then you come back out. Whereas then it was cold, but I don't know, it was just really enjoyable, and I was like, I see why people like it now.
Last 2 questions in this bit are about your relationships.
Yeah.
So let's start off with other people. Like, what's your favourite way of connecting with other people?
I think one new way that I have started connecting, and I'm just going to use this friend as an example because this is the person who I use this method of connecting with them, is because she lives up in Scotland, she's one of my best friends, and we are not the best at communicating via like Messenger. Like we don't really we'd message a bit, but we're not like sort of forward and back messaging. We'll try and like speak to each other on calls, but then we have like different work schedules. So we'll try and call every so often. But she found this thing called a Waffle Wednesday, which is where you do a voice note about your week and you rant to the voice note or you say whatever you want. And then you send it every Wednesday to your friend. So every Wednesday, what we'll do is she'll like, whoever does it first will like just sit and just chat as you would do on a call, but on a voice note. And then we'll just sort of reply via voice note. And then sometimes we actually have voice note each other. And then on the Wednesday evening, just rang each other because we've been like, what did you, are you like, just because of what's happened. But I think that's been quite a nice thing to have consistently, because I think, especially when people are busy, it's easy just to let weeks and weeks go by. Especially if people don't live very close, you can just be like, when did I last speak to them? So now having that Waffle Wednesday.
Well, that's a really good one.
I know. I think she heard it off another podcast. So, okay. But I don't know where she heard it. But when she suggested it, I was like, yeah, now it's just so like ingrained into.
That is cool. I like that a lot. Is there like a time limit on it?
No, we just say, we sometimes go into Thursday, to be fair, if it's been busy, but it'll just be at least the Wednesday or near enough the Wednesday. And I mean,
like on each individual message, is it so you could waffle for an hour?
You could waffle, and also you can do multiple waffles. So we've done it where like we're like you waffle and you can keep on waffling. And if there's a big rant, there needs to be a lot of waffles.
Wow. What self-care do you need?
I think talking about that sort of mindfulness is one part, but I think a thing that my family and people who know me close, who've like, especially like lived with me, I'm definitely someone who like needs to be active, and that doesn't mean like has to like formally exercise, but I'm definitely a lot more of a nicer person and in a better mood when I've exercised. Like if I've been stuck somewhere sitting all day, I'm snappy. I can feel myself like I've released stuff. It's all pent up. So I feel like for me, definitely for my mental health as well as physical health is definitely movement, exercise, anything like that. I've just got to get out. I can't, if I've sat all day, you don't want to sit and chat to that, Beth. Right. She's not fun.
Get her walking.
Yeah, my mum would be like, I could tell you've not been doing anything all day. I'd be like, I'd go off and like do a run or like go to like play netball or play tennis, and then she'd be like, there we go. Yeah. Feel better? And I'm like, yes.
That's a great thing to have, though. Yeah. That mechanism to be drawn to the physical activity, because the benefits are just so wide ranging. Yeah. Going into a dystopian future. All the fruits and vegetables are dying. You have the power to save 5. Which 5 fruits and or vegetables are you saving?
So hard. Right. I feel like you've got to have a mix because you can't have all fruits or all veg. Okay, my favourite things to eat are like berries, but obviously like I feel like I'm going to have to just either pick 1 or 2 because I can't just have all berries. So I might go for a raspberry.
Right.
Like a raspberry. It's quite versatile, delicious. Good in like a fruit salad, but also you can like mush it up and have like a raspberry cocktail, which is also quite nice. So multiple uses for the raspberry. I'm going to go for a pumpkin.
Right.
Bit rogue, bit different, because we have an allotment, you see, my husband, and we love our fruit and veg, and our pumpkins this year are.
They're mad the way they grow as well, aren't they?
Yeah, they're like all over. So we have some good pumpkins this year, and pumpkins you can sort of puree them and have them as like pumpkin puree, make cakes. You can roast them and into like curries, pumpkin. So raspberry pumpkin. I'm gonna say potato. Classic. You can't have a potato, can you? You got your crisps. Oh, I love a crisp. And then I'm gonna go for maybe go for a blueberry.
Right.
Like a blueberry.
I like a blueberry.
Yeah. So we've got raspberry and blueberry, and we've got the 2 veg. And then the last one, I'm gonna go for I'm trying to think of what I have in the fridge quite a bit. You know what I'm going to go for? I'm going to go for a lemon.
Oh, right. Okay. Nice.
Just because I feel like lemons you can use in like so many different ways. Desserts.
Yeah.
In like, I had a really nice lemon pasta recently, which was delicious.
Nice.
In your gin and tonic.
Lemon and ginger and honey's always a nice combination.
Great for the cold. Yeah. Just generally, lemon.
Nice.
So that's my 5.
Well, it's going to be an interesting future for humankind with them. No bananas.
I know. I just thought they were a bit. I mean, no, potato is quite basic, but I feel like potatoes just got.
Potato, I think, has been in every time.
Well, it's got to be there. Like you can not have like potato, like your mash. You've got your chips, roast potatoes. Yeah. I could just probably live off roast potatoes, to be fair.
Yeah, you'd have a good.
Yeah. My Sunday lunch would look a bit boring with just roast potatoes.
I guess, and pumpkin stuff.
Pumpkin's not going to make it on there, but it's okay. Roast potatoes are there. A few berries on the side.
Look, the future of the world is in a bad place. We haven't got any other fruit and veg, so we're going to have to deal with it one way or the other.
Exactly.
Well, that was a good answer. Really nice. Well, that was the healthy habits section. Now we're going to move into my second favourite section, which is the Toon section, Newcastle United. So Amazing. The question here is your Premier League Newcastle United 11.
Yeah.
Including a captain. You've got 3 subs, and I'd like to know your manager.
Okay. Manager's easy. Got to be Bobby Robson. Hands down. Like, legend. Got to be Bobby. The team. It's going to be a bit of a interesting mix here.
Nice.
But we'll go for in goal, Shay Given.
Brilliant.
I had goalie Shay Given top when I was younger, and I feel like he was a legend. So we'll go for Shay Given. At the back, I've got to go for current and have Big Dan Burn in there, like local legend, like just. I feel like I know him.
Yeah,
you don't,
rushed, doesn't he?
But I feel like he's just a great guy. So we'll go for Dan Burn. I think I'm going to go for another current in defence as well, and I'm going to go for Tino just because I feel like he's just so good. He's so young. I feel like
versatile as well.
Yeah, you can just he's just defending, but then he's also up doing crosses in. Like, so I'll go for Tino. Two of my not particularly. I mean, people would say I'll say older because it was when I was younger, but I think other people would be like they were pretty recent. I would say Colaccini because of the hair. Love the hair, like mainly for his hair, and Gutierrez.
Oh, in at left back.
Yeah.
Oh, right, okay. Yeah.
I would have him at left back.
They were blatantly mates as well, weren't they? Pair of Argentines together.
Yeah, so I think those two will go for a back four.
That's a very likeable back four.
Yeah, and I think just generally, like I feel like there'd be good banter. I mean, I feel like don't know what Tino's banter's like, but I feel like knowing Dan Burn as we all do, like he would definitely be the character. He'd probably be. I would say Dan Burn's going to be my captain. This is just on top of my head now.
Yeah.
Don't know why, but I feel like Captain Dan Burn.
Excellent.
Then for the midfield, I'm going to go for two currents because I feel like they together run the midfield. Bruno and Tonali, because I just think...
Can't argue they can, yeah.
They're amazing. I
think Tonali might be the best player we've ever had. I think he's unbelievable.
I do think if he left, like, we would be in dire circumstances because I think like he's just like everything goes through him. He's involved in everything.
Actually, I misspoke. I'm forgetting Alan Shearer. Alan Shearer's obviously number one, but Tonali's up there for the best.
Yeah, Tonali's that sort of like I think he's not the obvious because he's like he doesn't sort of score as many goals. He doesn't take the glory, but he's
brilliant.
Yeah, so those two, and I'm going to go for David Ginola.
Brilliant.
And I'm going to go for Nobby Solano.
Brilliant.
So I think those
You've
two...
You've actually got the same midfield for as me.
I think those... I honestly think if those four in their prime played together...
So creative.
It would be...
Good balance to the team.
Yeah.
Gino's not going to track back, but that's okay.
It's okay.
You've got back there.
I think, yeah, I mean, don't know how you would do with that, but I think the defence is probably not the strongest defence that we've ever had. But I think... The midfield.
This is an exciting team.
Yeah. They're all I feel like my team's not about defending. It's about.
I know, but you're not going to come in here and be like, right, we're going to go for a really solid 5-4-1.
But I think Dan Burn's going to basically just, as he's now, he's going to step up to captain and be just everywhere.
Brilliant.
And then up front, we're going to have Alan Shearer and Andy Cole.
We're not far off.
Because I think those two never played together, but I think if they did...
Oh, unbelievable falls.
Like, that would have been...
Goals.
Yeah.
Solano and Ginola crossing into them two. They're going to have a great time. I like your team. Really nice. Who are your subs then? Honourable mentions?
My subs... See, that's a tricky one. I think one of my subs would probably be Andy Carroll.
Okay.
Just because I don't know, like... I just feel like maybe for a little bit of height, even though we've got Dan Burn in there.
Take Cole off. Get Andy Carroll on. We're getting the balls in there.
Yeah, I just think, why not get Andy Carroll in there?
Geordie lad as well. Always
nice, you've got to have a local lad. You know who I feel like need another local lad who I would maybe have just on the as a sub. Happy that he's at Leeds now, but Sean Longstaff, I feel like he could come on. I mean, the midfield's pretty good, so I don't think he'd ever come on, but like he might be there on the sidelines, which would be good. And he could, if someone
he's going to work hard in training.
Exactly, he's going to help them in training, which is the main thing.
And I don't feel like you can complain about being. He's certainly not going to complain about being on the bench when Bruno and Sandro ahead of him.
Nah, exactly. And I think last one, I think Rob Lee.
Oh, right, yeah.
Just because I met him before and he seems like a nice guy.
Yeah. That's as good a reason as any. Yeah. Brilliant team. Good tuning.
Yeah,
really
I think the subs are a bit random, but I think
the subs were a bit random, I have to say. Nice. Lovely. Well, I'm going to hit you with some quick fire questions. You've had most, but not all of these.
I'm ready.
What's your favourite movie?
Thursday Murder Club.
I haven't seen it. What's it like?
Good.
Yeah.
It's very just like easy watch, like light-hearted. Like it's just.
I've heard very good
just
things.
a nice like watch it. You could watch it on like just an eve, just like you even watch it. Also, say like tonight, you could just go home and watch it and be like, oh, that was nice.
Okay, nice.
Heartwarming.
That sounds like fun. I'll do that at some point soon. That sounds nice.
Yeah.
Favorite musical artist?
Currently, Olivia Dean.
All right.
Yeah.
No, right.
Just because I feel like, as I said, I've got. My husband would say my playlist is the most widespread random thing ever, but
well, I've heard your movement classes.
Yeah,
I'm often downstairs with a Lego and there's all sorts of tunes going in there.
Absolute bangers. So I would say currently she's someone that I listen to her like as an artist rather than like my random playlist of one song from like various different artists. So I can listen to her album and I can listen, and at the moment she's in my head quite a lot of the time.
Nice.
Like when I'm bopping along.
I don't actually know who it is. My musical taste probably stopped at about 2005.
Oh,
see, I'm older than I look. I'm older than I feel.
she supported Sam Fender.
Yeah, I think I know one of his songs. My mum always talks about him. She wants him as a payment for the charity. I'll put that out there if he sees this.
Sam?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And Dan Byrne.
Dan, you are the team, my captain, Dan.
Yeah. But yeah, the modern music. So I guess my problem is there's decades of things like Marvin Gaye and Stevie Wonder and Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
I don't really need to add more music in. Although country music has came in really strong recently. I love country music. Alan Jackson.
So what's your favourite artist? Yeah.
Currently, if I was to pick, Alan Jackson is a country.
See, I don't know who that is.
He's a country music star. He does things like Little Bitty. And I don't know what it is, but over the last sort of 3 years, maybe, country music has really resonated with us to the point where I was in the 0.001% of country music listeners on Spotify last year.
Wow.
And specifically Alan Jackson. Do you have a favourite song?
Favourite song? I don't think I do have a favourite song, honestly. Like, the playlist that I have, it's just called Running.
Right.
And my husband hates it because he's very, like, he'll have his playlists, like, as I said, like, country, or he'll have different genres. Mine is, like, you can go from, like, having, like, Celine Dion to having, like, drum and bass in, like, within one song, and it's just random. So I don't have a favourite song because you
like too many.
I like too many.
Favourite book?
I really like the Robert Galbraith books that are written by J.K. Rowling, and they're sort of like detective.
Is that her? That's her male pseudonym.
Yeah, detective murder mystery type of book. Yeah, they're really. I mean, they're very long, but I think like she's a very good writer, and I love like a whodunit type of like different murders or like a bit of a thriller. So that's probably my favourite. Probably more currently because I do go through various different moods, but that at the moment.
Really my favourite. Nice. Good answer. Do you have a favourite game show?
I don't. Well, to be fair, you wouldn't call this a game show. I don't think you would. But I love British Bake Off. It's not a game show. Yeah. I don't really watch any game shows, but I do watch.
I think that fits in that.
I love Great British Bake Off. I also love Traitors, but I don't know if you would call that a game show.
I would call that more of a game show than I would
Great British.
But I think both of them are in that area.
Yeah.
As far as I'm concerned.
Yeah. Great British Bake Off, just a classic, I feel like. And also, it then gives me an excuse to always like have a sweet treat on because you can't watch Great British Bake Off with bacon and not have anything just nice to eat. And then obviously Traitors, I just find it really addictive when they're like, probably like my sort of whodunit murder mystery side where I'm like, oh, are they going to find out? Are they going to? Yeah. I like that.
Have you thought of a fun fact?
I don't.
People struggle on this one.
I don't have a fun fact. I don't know if that's because I'm not fun or I just can't think of a fun fact.
You've literally just been on a camper van driving around Germany and Austria. That's a fun fact in and of itself.
Yeah, I feel I like adventurous holidays. Yeah, like we went.
Do you have a favourite holiday?
Probably when we went for a honeymoon to Canada. That's probably my favourite holiday.
Oh, wow.
But a random one that we went on recent, like at the start of the year, I think it was the start of the year, we went to Tromsø in North Norway, and we did ice fishing where we drilled through the ice and then we fished for fish.
That's a total fun
Which
fact.
is very random, but really good. And we saw the Northern Lights and it was fab. But yeah, that was quite it was sort of a random place to go, but it was amazing.
That sounds wicked. And you saw the Northern Lights?
Yeah.
That's a fun fact.
Yeah. So, there we go. Just throwing them all
I've
in.
got too many to count.
Oh, which one do I choose?
Right, I'm going to hit you with some serious questions now. You got 2 coming up, yeah? You haven't had these before.
Okay.
Ant or deck?
Deck.
But
that was one where I could have gone either.
I think most people are the same.
Either way, I was like thinking I was going to say ant, but I was like, no, do I like deck more? Deck, very close, but yeah, deck.
Just shades it. Okay, and if you're in St. James's Park, are you a toon or a black and white army?
I'm going to tell you a funny story about this afterwards, but I would say I think I'm probably a black and white army. But when I went, because I used to go to the match with my dad when I was younger, I used to think they were saying toon, blow it away. For like, from being like probably about... Yeah, so I used to say blow it away.
Right.
From being about like 5 to maybe like, I don't know, when I realised it wasn't blow it away. Right. And it was obviously black and white army as in Newcastle. But yeah, for ages I was like, toon, blow it away is what they were saying.
No one, to be fair, no one actually sings black and white army.
It's so
just
fast.
Merges into,
and I think when you're like little and you're like probably surrounded by like muffled like sound as well,
and
I thought it was toon, blow it away. So.
And not a bad message. We want you to go and blow them away, smash them.
I mean, it was sensible to me at the time.
Exactly, yeah. It's like song lyrics, isn't it, when you misheard them, but that's just what they are now.
But black and white army, yeah.
Now we're going to transfer to the liver or cancer side. So starting off, just kind of trying to get some context. What was life like before you became a part of liver or cancer?
So basically, I sort of a bit of a run up to sort of getting my current job, which is sort of what led into sort of meeting sort of Maureen and sort of getting involved with Live Well with Cancer. My dad had esophageal cancer sort of 5 years ago. And well, longer than 5 years ago, but he passed away five years ago. And since then, basically, I was like very motivated because he was a physio as well. And he was very much into sort of like the sort of prehab. So he was very much, when he was going through treatment, he was wanting to exercise, he was wanting to eat well. He was very much like positive mental attitude. Like he was like amazing. And then from there, it's funny when things hit you all at once. So
I didn't know that. Yeah.
So from then, and then he passed away in June, 5 years ago. I was just very sort of empowered, basically, to regain. Yeah, I was just very empowered to do something that sort of, I think because he was like, so he was very, very brave, but he was very much like, when he was going through treatment, he was like, I'm going to post-treatment, he was like, I want to help cancer patients. And then I think when he passed, I was like, I've taken that now. I was like, I want to help as much as I can. So, yeah, so I basically was, because I was working, so as then I was working as a rotational band, no, I wasn't a rotational band 6, I was a neuro-elderly band 6 physio, just sort of working in sort of general sort of elderly wards, and I was sort of looking out for like seeing like what could I do, like what because I hadn't had any experience apart from my dad. Like I've never worked with cancer patients, and I'd never had the opportunity or see any opportunities come up where I could work with cancer or at least get experience. But then this job came up to at Northumbria, and there was a few around sort of the northeast to basically be sort of it said a project manager to pilot a cancer prehab service. And you know when a job comes up and you're like, I didn't know what I wanted. And also because like the neuro elderly physio side, like I really enjoyed, I mean, I love being a physio, but I was like, there wasn't one area that particularly like stood out to me. I was like, oh, I saw that job and I was like, oh my God.
Have I written this job for myself?
That's like exactly what I want. And it wasn't particularly, I thought when I saw the job, I was like, well, am I ready for that sort of challenge? But I was like, you know what? I was like, you're never going to get this chance again. Like you just have to throw yourself into it and learn on the job, and basically. And then I thankfully ended up getting the job, and then it was a big learning curve on the job. But then what was quite good is that I felt like because I was so passionate, especially like even when I was like running up to applying for like the job, I was talking to other physios who worked in on oncology. I was trying to get as much sort of information as possible. And then when I got the job, I just wanted to do courses and learn as much so I could help support patients as much as possible. And I think that's when I got into doing like Pilates and stuff and other different things. And I'll talk more probably later about how linked in with Live Well with Cancer. But that was sort of my journey to sort of being more involved in the sort of cancer side of things.
Yeah. That's called the call to adventure when we talk about the hero's journey and stuff. And what a great thing to have such a clear call that and then to get it as well, even better. Oh, well, that's amazing. So that was how you got into that job. How did you then get involved with Live Well with Cancer? How did that happen?
So it links on well because when I obviously started this role, it was very much like, especially the initial stages, was just trying to sort of see what's out there for patients in the trust. Actually, I'll go through a bit about what Prehab is, just in case people listen to and think, what is Prehab? Yeah. So basically, cancer prehab is basically, it's a sort of support. It's a sort of service that should support patients in the lead up to their cancer treatment and support them during cancer treatment. And there's sort of three main pillars of prehab. So you've got your physical activity, you've got your mental well-being, and you've got your nutrition, your sort of healthy diet side. And they're the sort of three things that we try and support patients with. And in prehab, we basically want to offer patients, as I said, like some patients might just need a little bit of support. Some patients might need a lot of support. And what we try and do is we try and offer the patients the support that is sort of appropriate to them. And that can change during treatment. Because obviously, as I said, when we see them pre-diagnosis, it might just be that they're having surgery or chemo or whatever. It all depends on what they're having. And also during that journey, it can change as well. But I think we just try and adapt to support what they need at the time. So basically, I started in this role and basically heard on the grapevine at Northumbria about this charity called Live Well with Cancer in North Shields. So I came along to speak to Maureen, and she had it was sort of like a bit of an open day. People could just drop in and sort of speak to her. And it was, don't get me wrong, I might be wrong here, but I don't think you'd had the premises for that long.
Don't think so, would it be? No, I think you're doing relatively new.
Yeah, so I think it had not been, it would be, you just sort of moved not long ago.
We'd been running workshops in different areas around North Tyneside, so we're kind of going, but
that was when the premises had opened, so it was at the premises, and basically I just told her about the job, and that I was very much like, I've literally just started. I'm just finding my feet and also trying to find out what we can do at Northumbria and how we can link in with the community. And Maureen was just so enthusiastic. As you can well imagine, she was like, I'm happy to help with whatever you need. We want to be involved. We want to support your patients. We want to work together. And then the rest is history. And we do, obviously, now we do our one-to-one appointments at Live Well with Cancer. We do groups at Live Well with Cancer. We sort of refer patients sometimes for like if they want to just come to chat to Maureen, if they want to come to a support group or a craft group. So I think we've got a really, really good relationship. I don't think the prehab service would be where it was today without Live Well with Cancer. So I think it's really helped me in my role, but it's really helped the service. And I know a lot of the patients would agree that the prehab service at Northumbria a lot better.
It's the beauty of partnership working, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because I actually helped you with one the other day where we were kind of, because my mum's not in, so I was kind of doing that side of things, and that it's a great way of working, embedded within the community. And what I love is it's a two-way street. So there'll be your patients coming in, and then you see them 3 weeks later and they're part of the crafting group. Or it's someone in the crafting group who's just had a diagnosis and okay, now you can go that way. So it's a great way of working.
Yeah. It's so, and I think it's that sort of linking up that I think is crucial, especially when you're starting up something new. And I think I didn't want to have to, like, with liver cancer, they had so many good groups and support. It's like, well, why am I going to try and start something different in a hospital setting when actually it's in a lovely, it's not in a hospital setting. It's friendly. It was just literally when I first met Maureen, I was like, this is going to be good. This is going to be good.
And it has been.
It has been good. It has been very good.
Well, and that leads me, and you've kind of touched on it, but like, so what has your role been within the charity sort of since then?
So I think initially it was very much like I was sort of like linking with Maureen from a definite prehab physio, like service lead side, where we would sort of make plans of what we're going to do. But then I think it sort of has now developed into more where I have gradually wanted to get more involved in like running separate sessions. So obviously, like, I obviously see prehab patients, but now I have obviously the movement class. So there was an amazing physio who was doing the movement classes when I first...
Lindsay.
Yeah, Lindsay.
Yes,
who was lovely Lindsay, who did the movement classes. And then she jetted off to live in New Zealand, and Maureen was like, we have a little bit of a gap. We don't have someone doing the movement classes. And I was like, initially, I think I was a bit like, Lindsay was so good. I feel like I don't know if I could, like... But then I thought, actually, but I don't have to try and be Lindsay or copy Lindsay. I just need to provide a movement class for patients. And I think that sort of taking that weight off and just being like, just go and do your own class. So then sort of doing the movement class, that was great. And then now we've started to do, we've sort of got the movement class on a Tuesday, and then that we've also got, we're going to have on a Monday sort of a more like lower level strength sort of building class for sort of those patients who maybe aren't sort of wanting to go back into as intense exercise straight away and want to slowly build up. So we've got now the 2 classes. So yeah, that's been really good. And it's, I think, getting to know some of the people who, as I said, attend the classes, but also attend like the support groups and things has been lovely. And I feel definitely very much now part of the Live Well with Cancer family, and it's lovely.
Without a doubt. And a very big part, and a lovely part. It's great having that extra Monday one coming in. And actually that'll be live by the time this goes out. So yeah, it'll be up and running, and hopefully
so come along to the Monday class. What was the time again?
It is 12 till 1 on
12
a Monday.
till 1
immediately after acrylics and immediately before yoga.
It's going to be great. You can even do the strength class and then do the yoga afterwards.
Exactly, yeah.
Perfect.
And if you really wanted to go for it, you could do chores of art beforehand.
Oh my goodness.
What a
you
day.
have a full day.
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
What we do with the movement classes, it sort of incorporates, it's sort of half Pilates, half strength sort of stuff. So I sort of still get the Pilates side in there. It's just not a formal solo Pilates class, but who knows? Maybe sometime I'll have enough time and we can do Pilates as well.
I always get to see the ladies coming out as well of the movement class. So I get to see them going in and then they're coming out.
You see them going out like...
yeah. It's good. It's class. You've got a lovely group though. It's such
a good group. And I think it's a nice... Like, they are very inclusive of like new people coming in and supporting them. And it's very much different levels. So I think anyone who... Even though there is a core group who come a lot, I think they very much, if someone new comes along or someone new wants to join, like if they're at a lower level, they can just do they're supportive of that, and we're supportive of that, and they can just do whatever they can manage. If someone wants to lie on the floor with on the mat and lie still, that is fine. That does not bother me. I'm like, you enjoy.
Exactly. Yeah.
Move your arms and legs occasionally just so I can know that you're still there. Not sleep, but that's fine.
Wiggle your toe.
Yeah.
Well, do you have a highlight from your time with the World Cancer? We've kind of touched on things. There's a couple of things that come to mind.
to be fair, they've been quite a few highlights, but I think the most recent one was the Pilates and sea dip on the beach that we did. When was it? Was it the end of August? I think it was.
Yeah. What a day for it.
It was honestly the best. Like, you were there. Like, the weather was incredible,
and it hadn't been nice. It was like you've just been blessed with this
honestly,
window of sunshine.
The whole week was like a bit mixed. It was a little bit grey. It was a bit rainy, and I was like, "Oh, here we go."
I'm so glad we were there to take pictures of it, because I like, if I hadn't seen it, I wouldn't have known. And you're there, you're like, not only is there a big appetite for a sport and charity, but also for Pilates on the beach.
Yeah,
like, to get that turnout was incredible.
Yeah, my only issue is that if we do it like a year again, I'm like, please, the weather. I mean, feel like I've started so high up that like any other time I'm like, oh, is it going to be as good? But no, I think for the first one, it went so well, and like everyone who came, I'm so grateful, because like everyone was just, I said, just went along with whatever. It was obviously our first one, so trying to work out how best to organise people, but it was a fab morning.
It raised over £700.
Yeah, which is amazing.
If my math is correct, is over 28 counselling. I don't know what the money was for specifically, but there you go. That puts it in real terms. If that's 28 people getting counselling to improve their mental health.
Yay.
What does being part of Live Well with Cancer mean to you then? So we've kind of talked about your role and how it's been.
Yeah.
You're a big part of the community, but what does it mean? What does it mean to you?
I think it just it means to me that I feel like that people all have different relationships with, if they have cancer, they've known people with cancer, they have family, friends that are going through it, have been through it. I think you don't know who needs this charity, how many people do need this charity. And I think it's just, what I find lovely is that just, it's a community of people who people sometimes don't know who's being touched by it in what way, but everyone just sort of is together and is sort of like, have their arm around, being like, yeah, we're all there to support whatever you need. And I think that's the sort of nice side of it, is that it's for everyone. And I think there's no sort of like, it's not like you're in this group or you're in that group. Everyone's just can do whatever they want, whatever feels right for them or doesn't feel right for them. And sometimes they might feel something's not right for them, but then they go along and they're like, oh, I actually really enjoyed that. So I think it's just that sort of sense of it, Live Well with Cancer and the people who work there, and obviously like you guys are, I think, amazing, like as a family, but also as like the sort of running the sort of charity. I think Maureen's incredible, but it's just such an inclusive place where I think anyone who I know who's had any sort of dealings with cancer would get what they want by coming along to something or talking to someone who's part of the charity, because it's great.
Wonderful. Good answer. And okay, so do you have any hopes for the future of the charity?
I think, as I said, I would love to do more groups, but I hope that it keeps getting the support and the funding that it deserves, because it's so needed. And I think I couldn't imagine my service within Northumbria Trust, but I couldn't imagine the local area. I couldn't imagine it without Live Well with Cancer. And I know for the cancer patients or the families or anyone who uses it, I feel like it's just so important that I just hope it continues just to get as much funding and support, and I hope it continues just to grow, and new things, new ideas and new things keep sort of coming up, because I think that's what it's ever evolving, and I hope it just continues to evolve into whatever it needs to be. But I just hope it gets the support that it needs to keep going, because it's amazing.
It's a wonderful wish, and it's a very kind thing. And I would have to say things like this are so important, because obviously, it's a strange thing doing a podcast, isn't it, when you have a conversation, but actually having conversations about these things and sharing it. So quick shout out, as always, to Hayward from Hayward and Stuff Productions. Couldn't be more grateful for this opportunity to have these conversations and promote the charity, because I think one thing we've been very good at over the last coming up to 6 years now is that side of it, what we're actually here for, which is helping people affected by cancer.
Yeah.
What we need to get better at is sharing that message and kind of, getting more people in. So we've talked about a lot today.
Yeah.
I've got a question which has stumped quite a few people. Is there something I should have asked you about today that I haven't?
I don't think so. I think you're such a wonderful podcast host that I feel like there's nothing that I would have added.
Well, that's it. What a wonderful.
Oh no, let's end it.
Yes, let's end it on a compliment to me. Well, thank you. Yeah, no better place. Thank you so much, Beth. It's really been a pleasure. It's really been lovely, a pleasure. Yeah. It's nice been having a chat and actually finding out more about you as well along the way. What a wonderful thing to do.
Thanks, Ben.
So we'll see each other on Tuesday. Yeah.